Other guys, so I wanted to talk about shadow work today. The easiest way to go about this, and I will talk about inner child in another one. So, quite literally, one of the easiest ways I found was with Kyle Cease had mentioned this, and I thought this was brilliant on the YouTube channel. He had mentioned it. Right along with that clearing the container meditation, simply look at it, be willing to look at it. That's all it takes. The light in you will expose the dark in you. Any darkness you carry, and first of all, let's not be spooked by hearing darkness. We'll just call it any unconsciousness, unconscious behavior. You could, to give you some example, you could have had trauma as a child, suppressed it in the inner child. Boom, there's shadow stuff. There's a shadow. And even if somebody is a light worker, they can still definitely have shadow in there that has to be looked at. The good news is the more you look at that shadow, the more your behavior is going to improve, like clearing things that no longer serve you. Um, Maybe the binge eating goes, or I don't know, an addiction goes, and whatever, endless scrolling on Instagram, who knows, whatever your thing is. Clear that, and it could help all areas of your life, even with being more successful. So all I'm saying is follow that clearing the container meditation and look at your stuff. Literally, like, okay, is there any shadow in here that has to look at? Is there any darkness in here that has to be looked at? And just look at it, and just simply looking at it, not forcing, not resisting it, and let it just sit there with it and let it clear out of you. And it will clear, 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 and transform. And all it's going to do is be exposed, and it's just going to be higher and higher amounts of light in you. And you naturally are love and light. So you probably will find old conditioning, old programming just clearing right out of you. I think that some of this stuff really could stem from childhood. Something happens in childhood, people maybe repress it, or they don't deal with it, or maybe didn't know how to deal with it, and then it can go shadow. I mean, there is a lot of, maybe in another video I'll talk about it, inner child stuff, inner child and shadow. There's a connection there. So addressing that, and it's like, imagine this: you're doing all this stuff to help yourself, and then you've got shadow here, like, and kind of, it's one of those things. You have to address the shadow. You address the shadow, you're probably going to end up launching forward in all areas of your life. It has to be looked at, no matter how much somebody appears to be beaming love and light. I'm telling you, they still need to look at their shadow, no matter who it is. No matter who it is, they still have to have the shadow looked at. There can be people who are incredibly spiritual who still, when pushed, can turn around and snap at their wife or a family member or something like that. Like, you need to look at the shadow, not judge yourself, still have tons of love and compassion, but look at the shadow. It's part of the work. You do the ego work, you do the inner child, you do the shadow work. Excuse me. And remember, and not judging yourself. And I will say this too: through law of attraction, when you work on shadow, what you attract to yourself will be better. So if you are finding yourself going, oh, there's all this darkness in the world, or this or that, whatever, stop looking at the world and start going within. And that's literally like the essence, like the amount of growth with spirituality when you just take the time to go in. Uh, you look at all your own stuff, your own darkness, your own traumas, your own feelings that you're afraid to feel. That will transform in you, and because it transforms in you, you are the creator of your reality. Your life experience will change. I mean, I've told me stories, they've had spooky experiences even when they lose, or when they have learned energy. And hearing that now, and I've seen it on different, or even during the awakenings, things like that, I've realized that if they had it done, they didn't, it's part of their journey, of course, but if you address the shadow, what you pull to yourself and drive to yourself will be far different. Um, yeah, shadow work is essential, and it doesn't have to be a spooky thing. It doesn't have to be an awful, horrible thing. Just like the inner child, it doesn't necessarily have to be this super messy thing. if you follow this advice and also the thing about that clearing the container, I mean, it's so simple. It's so simple, but it's so powerful, and you just have to put in the work and do it. But it takes the time and the willingness to look at all your stuff and stop looking outside yourself and be like, well, look at all this. It's like, yeah, you are the creator of your reality. So, what is it that's in you that has to come out? What is it that's in you that you need to look at? Like, yeah, well, this person showed up. You are the creator of your reality. So, for a reason, what is it in you that has to be looked at? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, not necessarily the greatest to have to look at that stuff. And I would definitely recommend you don't try and maybe go full bore on this. This is something you can do in portions. Because remember, you're love and light. You don't just want to be focusing on, oh, well, I've got this and that going on in me. It's like everyone has some sort of shadow or some sort of stuff to look at, whether it's from this life or another life that they have been through or something ancestral or something. Everyone's literally a work in progress. Yeah. So I'll end it there. Comments, questions down below. Please take this advice. I'm telling you, it is so, so beneficial. And no matter what, like I said, especially if you're a light worker, you have to look at your shadow. You have to be able to look at this stuff. It will help you so much. So much. Yeah, I mean, everyone's got in there. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows in everyone's behavior, too. So, for example, you just look at your behavior. Look at your behavior. Look at your whys. Look at things you've done, things you've wanted to do. Look at like whatever your stuff is inside, and without shame, without guilt, and just like, okay, all right, okay, that's in there. I guess there was some jealousy. Well, I guess I said that. I guess I did that. All right, there was a lot. Oh, wow, yep, that behavior at different times. But realize, especially if it's your past, you're doing the best you can, and you are on a journey. You are growing and you are ascending. So it's not fair to look back at yourself with hatred or judgment or shame and all this stuff when it's like, yeah, that might have happened, yada, 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 but look at where you are now. Look how far you've come, how much you've grown. So all I'm saying is, don't fall into the whole, well, I've looked at all these shadows, oh, now I'm this terrible person, and all these things. It's like, no, 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 no. Your shadows, if anything, your shadow's exposing your light, and your light's exposing your shadow. So it's yin and yang, yin and yang. So, I'm gonna end it there. Comments, questions down below. Really try this one. I'm telling you, it's so good, so good. You might feel a lot, but feel it, heal it, let it clear. Let me know what you think. All right, take care.